If you have missed the last few weeks, we're wrapping up a series that is an in person series at our campuses that we call At the Movies. We've been spending 2024 studying the book of Romans. And so, in this series at our in person campus gatherings, we've been looking at different movies that reflect some of these major themes in Romans, just taking a break from going through Romans chapter and verse to spend some time looking at some of the major themes that get unpacked for us in the book of Romans. And there's nothing like stories to help us do that. Like Jesus loved to tell stories for this reason. He used stories called parables as a way to help his everyday, ordinary audience understand and apply some of the deeper theological concepts. So it wasn't just something he wanted them to think about, it's how he wanted them to live. And so one of the themes in Romans is family of God, family of God. And Paul writes to us and writes to the believers in Rome to help them understand that, look, despite all your differences, that you are related to each other through Jesus. And so he uses language in Romans like brothers and sisters. Romans chapter 1, verse 7, he uses some of that language. And then it's carried out really throughout the entire book of Romans. Especially, we see this kind of language in Romans chapter 8, which we've spent some time studying. I want to revisit some of those verses today. To be honest, we could spend months studying some of these verses and some of the concepts in Romans chapter 8. But in Romans chapter 8, he talks to us about the love of God as a heavenly father. And what we tend to do in that is we focus on how we should then relate to God as a heavenly father, which is appropriate, but it doesn't just dictate how we relate to him. It really shows us how we are to relate to each other, because if what we have in common is God as a perfect heavenly father, it makes us brothers and sisters. And so as we've studied Romans, what's become clear is that because of Jesus, that we are a family of God. We're brothers and sisters that get to call God Father. And so what I want to do is just take a few minutes to think through what it looks like as a church, as believers, to be a family.